How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour here. We are with Ricky Navarrete. We were just talking about self-driving cars. We were talking about it in relation to the Uber incident in Arizona that happened last month. We just finished talking about that, and I wanted to go ahead and get into an issue that I spoke with Bailey last week on, and that now I'm going to pass on to you as well. It has to do with my final project in my journalism class. It is a very big issue that has been going on. It's the proposal to split California into 3 separate states. It is going to be on the ballot this year. So one thing, and I actually talked about this with Al last week as well, want to make the connection. Al was actually correct. San Francisco and the Bay Area are mostly not part of just California. It is actually everything Santa Cruz and Monterey down to LA. San Francisco and Silicon Valley are still part of Northern California. So in relation to that, I'll go ahead and talk about that real quick before I get your thoughts on this, Ricky. In terms of that state's voting alone, Silicon Valley has quite a lot of people in that population, so it would still likely go Democrat in a state election or in a presidential election. Obviously, you'd have a greater chance since you have a lot more rural communities of it going possibly red. But once again, it would likely still go blue, which means that the only place out of the 3 states which would maybe go red would be Southern California. But still, so you have the split of just California, as I was just saying, which is everything Santa Cruz and Monterey down to the LA area. You have Southern California, which is pretty much, it looks like it's about like Tahoe, swinging around to about the Modesto area, south of Fresno, all the way down around San Diego. And then Northern California is Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, up into the Central Valley of Sacramento, up north, pretty much everything up there. And I wanted to go ahead and get your thoughts on this. So this is going to be something that'll be on the ballot in November. Do you think it's a good idea to split California into 3 states? Do you think it's not? What are your thoughts on the issue in general?
Honestly, dude, I don't have like a stance. Like, if it happens, all right, it happens. I just think it's gonna be weird how we have to learn that there's 52 states now or whatever,
right?
And then, but like, I don't really have like a certain stance on it, but I know a bunch of people they don't like change. Nobody likes change. Everybody's like, I want things to stay the way they were, and nobody likes it when some black guy comes and runs for president, or some Hollywood guy comes and freaking runs for president. Like, nobody in politics likes change. They just want what they're used to. They want what they want. Like, they don't want to try to adapt to whatever. So I can see why a bunch of people are like, oh, that's stupid, blah 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 blah. But in reality, like, I don't know how bad it would be. Like, I was like kind of intrigued when you guys were talking about it on the last podcast, like talking about splitting like the whole county lines, like splitting the government and whatnot, like who's gonna run who and who's gonna run this Northern California, Central, like this or over here, whatever. So like that's something I didn't even think about that I found interesting. Like, it's just, I don't know. My thoughts. I always like stray away from what you asked me. Like, you asked me one question and then I like go on and on and on and on.
No, that's fine. That's the whole point why we're here. So, in review for everybody, Tim Draper, the venture capitalist out of the Bay Area, announced last Thursday the initiative had gotten 600,000 signatures from registered voters all across all of the state's 58 counties, surpassing the 365,880 signatures required by state law, and it will be on the ballot in November. So right now, California has the highest population, number 9 per capita in the United States, with the proposed 3-state idea. This would be the breakdown population-wise. North California would have the number 5 population in the United States, number 2 per capita. California, the new California, would have the number 8 size population across the country, number 12 per capita, and Southern California would have number 4 population throughout the country, number 30 per capita. So you'd still, obviously, all 3 Californias would be very high in population. You'd still probably have a good amount of electoral votes. And I've somewhat changed my position on this from last week. Last week I said I was kind of unsure, kind of lean more towards, I'd probably vote for it. I don't think I would, and if I'm not mistaken, there was actually the Cal Exit group got something on the ballot as well, trying to split California into separate states. And it doesn't look like they have. Oh, they've begun getting signatures to try to get their initiative onto the state ballot. Secretary of State Alex Padilla announced the ballot proposal had been cleared. So they're trying to get signatures together to get California to become its own country. So there's a lot of craziness happening up there, out there right now. So those two issues are definitely connected together. And personally, we just need to unify and understand. We just need to be one state. We just need to unify better, and we just need to be one state. That's just my thoughts. But it's definitely an important issue, as it will be on the ballot, and it'll be interesting to see how polls go on it getting towards November, and what the vote will be when it comes to the 2018 election, the midterms. The last thing I want to go ahead and talk about here with you before we there was one thing I wanted you to go ahead and do. You said you had something you were working on with Eric. I'll have you play that for us here in a second. I want to go ahead and cover this issue here. So, the Golden State Killer, also known as the East Area Rapist, I'm pretty sure was his name. He was arrested this week, decades after the California crime spree back in the 70s and 80s. So his name is Joseph James D'Angelo. He is a 72-year-old former police officer. 4 of his years of being a police officer were actually in Auburn. I heard some people on the radio this week on 98 Rock versus on amongst various other outlets, calling in and explaining how they knew this guy. But anyways, he was taken into custody this week on suspicion of being the serial killer. He is accused of committing 12 murders, at least 50 rapes, and multiple home burglaries in the 70s and 80s. He's set to appear in court. That was today. He's supposed to be appearing in court. The Golden State Killer, whose crimes spanned from 76 to 86, started his crime spree with home burglaries and sexual assaults, later escalated the violence to murders and double murders. He also broke into homes where there were families and committed sexual assaults with his victims' parents or children present. Just terrible, man. Some terrible people out there in this world, but it's good to know that we have people out there whose jobs are to get these crazy people and get them away into a place where they belong, which is away from the rest of normal society. And like I was just saying, just a very terrible thing, but it's good that they finally got this psychopath, and they're putting him away.
Jesus, dude, damn, like that guy got busy, dude. Jesus. I don't even know how, like...
I'm pretty sure, because we were talking about this yesterday, and you know a little bit about this. I don't think a lot of young people, obviously, I can't say I do, know about this. I know my parents told me a little bit about him. I'm sure for anybody else who knows a good amount on this has probably been their parent or somebody in their family that's told them about this guy and how they knew about them, how he was covered back in the 70s and 80s. But like I said, you know, it's just another sign that we have a lot of people that... There's a lot of people that are arrested for crimes that they did not commit, but there's a lot of people that are also never, arrested for crimes they did commit. And it's good to know that even though this man is up there in age, he will be spending the rest of his life where he belongs, which is not out in the rest of society, and will either be behind bars or he will be just gone. So I had to bring that up because it's a disgusting story from what happened 30, 40 years ago, but it's also a good story in terms of the fact that they finally got this dude.
And that there's probably other people like that, too, that we're just not aware of.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, cool. So, away from all that, back to the whole music, thing. I want to go ahead and, you have something you wanted to share with me, something you've been working with, Chowder on. So go ahead and, go ahead and play it for us. Go for it.
All right, bro. Give me a sec. Let me load it up. So, Aaron, you good?
Oh, I'm fine, man. I'm doing great.
Everything working, bro?
Everything's working great.
Just kidding. All right, let me know if you can hear it. Here, I'm going to, lower it so I don't want it to blast. I don't know if I'm going to lower it too much or
How long is it so far?
So far, it is about, we'd say just over a minute into it.
Okay,
but,
cool.
It's a start.
Hey, that's fine. That's good.
Okay, so let me know.
There's a little preview for you guys.
All right?
All right.
Can you hear that, or should I hire it more?
You might want to hire it a little bit more.
Okay, let's see.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Love those vocal chops.
You already know, bro. Those are Chatter's idea. Oh, dude. Oh, dude.
I like the build-up.
Oh, dude. You do?
Oh, nice.
Okay, you got a good taste of what the drop is like. I can't show you the full thing yet because the second part sounds different and for a good reason.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so how long have you guys been working on for that on, and do you have any idea what you're naming it yet?
Well, I have no idea, but I gotta give credit to Chatter. Chatter's the one who's worked on most of it for 2 days, and then, he sent it to
2
me.
days?
Like, all right, bro. Yeah, I'm like, all right, bro, let me help you out. And then ever since then, we've been working on it for the past 5 days.
Still, only a week, that's pretty good.
Oh, I know, dude. Oh, dude. So I got this new pack today in the morning just before I went to school, which actually kind of made me get 5 minutes late to class. I got this new pack in the morning that I was messing around with, and it's called Tropical Pop. The pack is because there's just a bunch of samples and a bunch of loops and whatnot. And I was putting something together before I started DJing before I got on the show. And I don't know, bro. I think it sounds pretty it sounds like I'm onto something. It sounds like a mess. At the end, but I feel like I'm on something. You want to take a listen there?
Sure, go for it.
Give me a little intel.
Go for it.
I'm trying to go for tropical EDM, but not just tropical, like high tropical. I'm giving it more of an upbeat tropical. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. All right, whatever. Here we go. Yeah, clearly that's about it. That's as far as I got in the 1 hour I was just messing around.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. And
Thanks, Aaron.
I don't think.
I'm kidding.
I think a lot of people don't do tropical EDM, and I wish people would do it more because I think it's really good. I think besides Kygo and a couple other musicians, it's really not something you see a lot. And I think tropical EDM is actually really good. And honestly, it's one of my favorite genres of it, EDM.
Is it now?
Yeah. I think
I'm
it's
just really
cool.
crap at it right now, but maybe in the future I'll get good.
Why do you think not a lot of people try that out?
Tropical, because like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, when I was talking about Avicii, but a bunch of people when they want to make EDM, they want to imagine themselves out on the stage, playing bangers, making sure the sub speakers just go and they're going crazy, jumping up and down, confetti everywhere. Nobody ever just wants to wave their phone camera around with their little flashlight on when they're talking about EDM. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Like I said, I think that actually part was pretty good, and I think you got some potential on that. What actually just came up ironically on my computer screen, some pictures that were just coming up, was from the Alan Walker concert. And I was going to talk to you. So I don't know what concerts are coming out this year in terms of EDM and stuff, but obviously there's Night Nation Run. Are we trying to do that again?
Oh, dude, yeah, we're for sure doing that again.
I can't wait. Hopefully they changed it up a little bit. I think it'd be cool if they had a little bit of a different course and put it in a little, actually put the concert on the field. I think that'd be really cool there at Rayleigh. But overall, I thought it was really cool and really creative. But I don't know if there's any other concerts that are coming out this year.
I don't know. I mean, I was talking to chatter about one, but like I doubt you listen to Dioro or Boombox Cartel. Those are two artists. Well, I listen more to Dioro than Boombox, just because Dioro's.
I'll be right back.
people
Sorry, that
pay
is the end of
attention.
part 4. I'll be right
Oh,
back.
you get.